only time y'all see me in rage is when I turn into the bronze mama.
Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Oleksandr Usyk. Get this. According to Oleksandr Usyk, he states and admits that he cannot stop thinking about the war in his native Ukraine and insists boxing has become child's play as he prepares for his 90 million pound showdown with Anthony Joshua after leaving the fight against Russia. Oleksandr Usyk, of course, states that boxing has become child's play. The unified world heavyweight champion returned to the Ukraine and enlisted in Kiev, the territorial defense, after Russian President Vladimir Putin launched an all-out attack on their Eastern European neighbors in February. But Usyk has since left the front line after he was given permission by their Ministry of Defense and now has his sights on seeing off Anthony Joshua once and for all in Saudi Arabia. Wow. Usyk also stated it was 5 a.m. when I received a message from my wife in which she informed me that the war started, he told YouTube channel Block Asset. I understood that Ukraine would close its airspace to civilian flights. We flew to Poland. In Poland, we were met at the airport by our friend. He drove us to the Polish-Ukrainian border. There we took another car which drove us to another Ukrainian city, and we could go directly to Kiev from there. I was gutted. I could not understand what was going on, but when I got home and saw my family, my kids and my wife, my loved ones, I felt better. Fellow boxer and close friend Vasily Lomachenko has also been battling Russian troops, as had legendary boxing brothers Vladimir and Vitaly. Usyk admits that he was lucky to have not seen much conflict, but reveals a number of his other friends missing in the terrible and horrible conflict. He added, "Luckily, I did not see much of the war, but what I did see and what I know from my relatives and friends is terrible. Some of my friends are missing and we do not know where they are. Many relatives lost their homes, lost their friends and loved ones." Frankly speaking, all that is going on now. It's quite horrible in the Ukraine. Every day I pray for the soonest possible end to this horror. In comparison with war, boxing is child's play. Okay. Now I want to concentrate as much as possible on my preparation because at the moment I cannot stop thinking about the war, about my friends in the Ukraine. Let me counterpunch, okay? If you guys can remember, about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3, I had a live stream, and the live stream stated and asked, Is Oleksandr Usyk ready mentally for Anthony Joshua? Okay. And during that live stream, people were like, well, hey, why aren't you asking if Anthony Joshua's mentally ready and this and that and the other? Well, for one, okay, so to reiterate, to counterpunch, Anthony Joshua's better at rematches. He knows what he did wrong some of the time, or the time that he lost, and he perfected that, and he did a good job with Andy Ruiz. So he gets more motivated as the next fight comes on. For 2, Oleksandr Usyk is fighting in war. Unlike Anthony Joshua, the only war Anthony Joshua is trying to fight is himself and Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk has to fight his thoughts about the Ukraine, the war, the things that he's seen, the people that he knows, his family, his other family, his friends, his country. He has to worry about all that. Okay, then concentrate on Anthony Joshua, then getting the win, and I think that is hard for anybody. Okay, I think that Oleksandr Usyk, he is a man just like anybody else, and everyone has a breaking point. He might have reached that breaking point, but my question is, why would you want to fight a person in this situation? And I know it's like a rock and a softer place, but the softer place isn't easy, especially when you're not 100% focused. See, one thing about Oleksandr Usyk, his preparation is impeccable because he's that guy that will come in shape, in physical and mental shape, okay, at 100%. That's one thing that he has. He don't run out of gas, and he's ready to tax that ass. But he has that mental state. And if he doesn't have it, and Joshua pulls a win, how much credit will Anthony Joshua really get? And that's exactly what I said on my live stream. Okay, because Oleksandr Usyk, and like I told you guys, I figured, like, look, he's not gonna, how can he be 100%? Okay, how can he be 100% on that? Now, there is a flip side. Let's look at it like this. What if Oleksandr Usyk beats Joshua again? You know what that means? Joshua's stock will drop tremendously, because hearing and reading stuff like this about Oleksandr Usyk, and he's still able to go in there and get a win over Anthony Joshua, that tells you that he has Joshua's number. Even though he hasn't fought any of the other guys besides Chisora and Witherspoon, Oleksandr Usyk has his number. Okay? And despite of all that, there will be no excuses, once again, for Anthony Joshua losing, except he was in there with the better guy. But this guy that's the better guy had a lot of shit against him, including the war. Okay? PTSD and other things like that, because that's what it's really feeling like. And you don't really know what that's like until you go through that type of situation. Ask any soldier, any real soldier that's been in combat, that's been in trauma like that, with tanks and wars and bullets and shrapnel and explosions. Okay, those type of things change your life. You need mental help. And if he's thinking about that war, he really shouldn't be boxing, honestly, because it's not really fair to him. It's not fair to his craft, and it's not fair to his overall potential. It's just not. But Anthony Joshua, though, he's doing his job. Okay, and then once again, he'll be in there with a guy that's not really prepared like Andy Ruiz was. Andy Ruiz just went and partied and got fat. Oleksandr Usyk has a legitimate reason where he can't be 100%. He can only be the best that he can be under these current situations. Okay, and it's so funny when I'm reading this, I'm like, well, I told you guys exactly what could happen. So at least he's admitting, like, look, this is what it is. And I know people in the diehard AJ fans will say he's just making excuses. Dude, what kind of excuse was it when you left a war-torn country, you know, from the front lines or wherever, in the trenches, in the basement and all that, trying to protect your family and this, that, and the other? Like, what? Like, how could you call that an excuse? It looks like more of a reason or an explanation to me. But that's what you're going to see. All right. But again, if I'm not 100%, I wouldn't put it on the line and all the belts and all the things that I accomplish for something like that. But it does show you, though, the reverence of still trying to attempt to do something under extreme circumstances. Okay. Talking about a fight uphill battle. This is it for Oleksandr Usyk. You guys tell me what you think about Oleksandr Usyk's statements. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.